morning, dear students. Welcome to digital classes. This is a chemistry period, and as you know, we are doing nowadays the topic colloids in Unit 5, that is surface chemistry. So today we are going to discuss about the properties and application of colloids. So dear students, as you know that by looking these pictures, these are the some of the importance of colloids in our daily life. We can see the cream, milk, cake, or these all resources that we are using in our day-to-day life. These are examples of colloids. So what is colloids? Basically, it is the word that derived from Greek word cola, we have already done, that come from glue. Okay, the word come from cola, which means glue. Some of the original organic colloid solution were glues also. Then we did classification, which is classified on the basis of physical state of dispersion phase and dispersion medium, nature of interaction between dispersed phase and dispersion medium, types of particles of dispersed phase, appearance of colloids, and electric charges of dispersion phase. So hope so you understood all these classification. Basically, question is coming from classification, that is the differentiation between this and that. Next is the preparation of colloids. In the preparation of colloids, basically we are preparing colloids in the three basic way. First is dispersion medium method, second is condensation method, and third is chemical method. In which dispersion method we are talking about mechanical method, peptidization, and Bredig-Sark method. And in condensation method we have done like to condense the liquid into gases. And in chemical method we are talking about oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, and double decomposition. After this, purification of colloids, this we have done. There are three common methods which is used to purify the colloids, that is dialysis, electrodialysis, and ultrafiltration, in which the dialysis and electrodialysis is used. Dialysis is used in our daily life by our kidney, that it dialysis, it purify the blood from the crystalloids. In electrodialysis, with the help of chemical method, with the help of electricity, with the help of that artificial dialysis we are using when the kidney is failure to do work. So ultrafiltration is the process to filter the big particles with the small particles. Now after this we are talking about properties. Today we will do the properties of colloids. In properties of colloids, basically if we will talk about colligative properties, this is one of the important properties of colloids. Colloids are showing colligative properties. Now what is colligative property? It is the collective properties. So colloidal particles being bigger aggregated, the number of particles in a colloid solution is comparatively small as comparison to true solution. It means that the particle size is bigger in colloidal solution as comparison to solution. Hence the value of colligative properties like osmotic pressure, lowering in vapor pressure, depression in freezing point, and boiling point, that dear students already we have done in chapter 2, are small order as compared to the value shown by a true solution at same concentration. So physical properties of colloids, basically you just pause this video and just note down these physical properties and do learn. Heterogeneity, it is heterogeneous mixture. As we have studied yesterday, colloidal solution are heterogeneous mixture. It consists of two phases, dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Second, visibility of dispersed particles, in which visibility of dispersed particle, the dispersed particles present in them are not visible. Next is physical properties of colloids. If we will talk about physical properties mean all those property which is visible in the physical presence. So first physical property is heterogeneity. In heterogeneity, colloidal solution consists of two phases, dispersed phase and dispersion medium, or we can say colloidal solutions are heterogeneous solution. It is a kind of solution which is heterogeneous in nature. Visibility of dispersed particles, it is visible, and dispersed particle present in them are not visible to the naked eye. They appear homogeneous. It means that the dispersed particles present in them are not visible to the naked eyes and they appear homogeneous in nature. Filterability, we can filter these particles through an ordinary filter paper. They can be retained by animal membrane, cellophane membrane and ultrafilter. Stability, lyophilic sols in general and lyophobic sols in the absence of substantial concentration of electrolytes are quite stable. So it means that these are stable. Color, the color of colloidal solution depends upon the size of colloidal particle. It present in it. Larger particle absorb the light and longer wavelength, therefore transmit light of shorter wavelength also. So these are the basic general physical properties. Dear students, pause the video and just note down these physical properties. And one of the important physical properties, optical properties. Like if we will talk about the optical visible properties, the Tyndall effect is the best example of optical property of colloids. It means that the beam of light, when we are passing through the colloid solution, it will diffract and it will scatter through this beam of light by striking with the dispersed medium. When an intense converging beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, it is kept in dark. The path of beam gets illuminated with a bluish light. This phenomenon is called Tyndall effect, and the illuminated path is known as Tyndall's cone. The Tyndall effect is due to scattering of light by colloidal particles. Tyndall effect is not exhibiting by true solutions. This is because the particles present in true solution are too small to scatter light. It is not visible in I can say solution, but it is visible in colloidal particles. Tyndall effect can be used to distinguish a colloidal solution from a true solution. The phenomenon has also been used to devise an instrument known as ultra microscope. The instrument is used for the detection of particles of colloidal dimension. So this Tyndall effect is going to be shown. Just see this activity where Tyndall effect is going to be.
Tyndall effect. When a strong beam of light is passed through a true solution, it cannot be seen unless the eye is placed in the path. However, when the same beam of light is passed through a sol, the path of light becomes visible with a bluish light. This phenomenon is called Tyndall effect. This phenomenon is due to scattering of light from the surface of colloidal particles. Colloidal particles are too small to be seen with naked eye. They scatter light and become visible as bright spots or discs of light against a black background when viewed through an ultra microscope.
Next is mechanical properties of colloids. Brownian movement is the example of mechanical properties where the size of particles in colloidal particles are a little bigger than solution, which is visible, which is not visible, but it is randomly moving very fast in the solution. So that zigzag motion, this zigzag motion of colloidal particles is known as Brownian movement. The continuous zigzag movement of the colloidal particle in the dispersion medium in a colloidal solution is called Brownian movement. Brownian movement is due to the unequal bombardment of the moving molecules of dispersion medium on a colloidal particles. The Brownian movement decreases with an increase in size of the colloidal particle. This is why suspension do not exhibit this type of movement.
Brownian motion. The first evidence that matter consists of tiny particles in motion was given by the English botanist Robert Brown. When Robert Brown was studying the pollen grains suspended in a liquid using a microscope, he discovered that pollen grains were dancing to and fro in a random manner. Similar haphazard motion can also be observed when small colloidal particles suspended in a liquid are examined under a powerful microscope. The zigzag motion is due to unequal bombardment between the suspended particles and the molecules of the surrounding medium. This irregular motion of suspended particles is referred to as Brownian motion. We shall now study movements of large and small particles suspended in liquids. Let us first look at an isolated large particle A suspended in a solution. A number of molecules hit particle A from all sides. On an average, the impact mutually cancels out. So, the resultant force on the particle is 0. Now, observe the particle B, which is very small. Particle B is hit by less number of molecules. Moreover, it is not hit equally from all sides. Due to this, there is a resultant force. This resultant force alters the direction of particle B. When particle B moves, the direction of the resultant force also changes, resulting in a zigzag motion. Let us now understand Brownian motion with the help of an experiment. Fill a hollow glass cube with smoke particles. Place it under a low-power microscope. Simultaneously, illuminate the cube with a light source. We observe that the smoke particles appear as bright particles moving in all possible directions, in contrast to the black background. This is an experimental evidence of molecular motion or Brownian motion.
Electrical property we'll talk. Electrophoresis is the first electrical properties. The movement of colloidal particle toward the particle electrode under the influence of an electric field. If the colloidal particle carry positive charge, they move toward cathode when subjected to an electric field and vice versa. So what is this? You can see these are the small particles which are called colloidal particles. If we will pass electricity, we will connect two rod in these solutions. So what is happening? The movement of particles are moving very fast. These particles movement is becoming fast, and it will collide and it will collect in one phase, that is in the cathode. That's why it is called electrophoresis. Electrophoresis means with the help of electric charge it collects.
Electrophoresis. The particles of the colloidal solution are electrically charged. The existence of the electric charge is shown by the phenomenon of electrophoresis. It involves the movement of colloidal particles either towards the cathode or anode under the influence of electrical field. The colloidal solution is placed in a U-tube fitted with platinum electrodes. On passing an electric current, the charged colloidal particles move towards the oppositely charged electrode.
Phoresis in one place of the electroosmosis, the movement of dispersion medium under the influence of electric field. In the situation when the movement of colloidal particle is prevented with the help of suitable membrane, during electroosmosis colloidal particles are checked, and it is the dispersed medium that move toward opposite direction. So it is reverse osmosis also. Semi-permeable membrane, what is osmosis? Where the particles are moving from larger concentration to smaller concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So in electroosmosis, this semi-permeable membrane is connected with electricity, electric charges, and it will pass the particles from one semi-permeable membrane to other. Okay, coagulation or flocculation is the very important property of electric property. Coagulation may be defined as the phenomenon involving the precipitation of a colloidal solution on addition of an electrolyte. When we are adding any electrolyte, that the coagulating which we are adding, it will coagulate mean it will collect, that like blood is coagulating when due to vitamin K. When blood is, we are supposed, whenever you are getting any injury, any cut, you can see the free flow, blood is moving from your body. So then after some time you can see the blood stop flowing, that is due to vitamin K, and that is the coagulation of blood. So Hardy-Schulze rule is there, which has explained this coagulation. According to this rule, greater the valency of the flocculation ion, added the greater is its power to cause precipitation. And when the coagulation is caused by addition of excess electrolyte, the ion responsible for neutralization of charge on the particle is called coagulating ion. So dear students, let's understand. A negative ion causes the precipitation of positively charged soul and vice versa. So the degree of coagulation is directly proportional to the valency of the effective ion used. Degree of coagulation is directly proportional to the valency of effective ion. It is used in the order of coagulation power of the cation, which is called Al3 positive, Ba2 positive and Na positive. It means that aluminium 3 positive has greater coagulation than barium 2 positive than sodium positive. So this is Hardy-Schulze. Flocculation value is the, I can say, other part of the coagulating power. The coagulating power of an electrolyte is basically expressed in terms of its flocculation values, which may be defined as the minimum concentration in millimole per liter in electrolyte required to cause the coagulation of a sol, a smaller flocculation value indicate the greater coagulating power of the electrolyte. It means that the coagulating power is inversely proportional to flocculation value. Coagulating power is inversely proportional to flocculation value. More the coagulation power, less will be the flocculation value. And the coagulation of colloidal solution can be achieved by any of the following method. First, electrophoresis by mixing two opposite sol, or by persisting the dialysis. So in this way, these are the basic properties of colloids, in which we have discussed the physical properties, optical properties, and electrical properties of colloids. Now, production of colloids. Lyophilic sols are more stable than lyophobic sols. Now, lyophilic sols is what? Which is liquid loving. This is due to the fact that lyophilic colloids are extensively solvated, and colloidal particles are covered by a sheath of a liquid in which they are dispersed. So lyophilic colloids have a unique property of protecting lyophobic colloids. When lyophilic sol is added to the lyophobic sol, the lyophilic particles form a layer around lyophobic particles and thus protect the latter from electrolytes. Lyophilic colloids used for the purpose are called protective colloids. When lyophilic colloids used for the purpose to stop the the electrolytes, so that is called protective colloids, and protecting power of the lyophilic sol is expressed in term of gold number. Okay, so these are the basic. Now, emulsion is one of the coagulating, fluctuating. These are the liquid colloidal system in which the dispersion of finely divided droplet in another liquid If a mixture of two immiscible or partially miscible liquid is shaken, a coarse dispersion of an liquid is obtained, which is called emulsion. Generally, one of the two liquid in water, there are two types of emulsion: oil dispersed in water, that is oil water type, and water dispersed in oil, that is water oil type. So you can see oil in water, oil is not going to disperse, oil is not going to mix with the water, that's why it is called oil water type dispersed. When water is added in oil, then it is called water oil type. In both the cases, these are not going to mix, it is called emulsion. So emulsion of oil in water are unstable, and sometimes they separated into two layers or standing. For stabilizing of an emulsion, a third component called emulsifying agent which is used to added. If two emulsifying substances are not going to be mixed, or they are not separated into two layers on standing, sometimes they are separated into two layers on standing. For stabilization of an emulsion, a third component need to be added, that is emulsifying agent. By adding emulsifying agent, it forms an interfacial film between suspended particle of medium, and the principal emulsifying agent for oil water emulsion are protein, gums, natural and synthetic soaps, and for water oil, heavy metal, salt of fatty acid, long chain alcohol, and lamp black, etc. Emulsion can be diluted with any amount of dispersion medium. On the other hand, the dispersed liquid, when mixed, form a separate layer. The droplet in emulsions are often negatively charged and can be precipitated by electrolytes. They also show Brownian movement and Tyndall effect, in which emulsion can be broken into constitutional liquid by heating, pressing, and centrifuging. So, how to prepare the emulsion? There are two miscible or partially miscible liquid which are mixed thoroughly. Droplets of one liquid is mixed with the other in the presence of some emulsifying agent, that is called emulsion. There are two types of emulsion, as we have discussed: oil dispersed in water type and water dispersed in oil type. And we are using emulsifying agent. This is a substance which is added to an emulsion for stabilizing purpose, that is called emulsifying agent or emulsifier. So now there are different types of colloids which is around us. In our next video, we are going to study about these different type of colloids. These are blue color of sky, fog, mist and rain, food particles, blood, soil, formation of delta. So dear student, this is one of the very important topics, colloids, in this surface chemistry, and maximum questions are coming in exam from this topic, that is colloids. And you can see in daily life so many examples in our day-to-day life where we are talking about colloidal solutions. So there is biological importance of colloids. If we will talk biological importance, the protoplasm of a colloidal system. Protoplasm is a colloidal in nature. Amoeboid movement, I can say amoeboid movement in amoeba occur. Fruits which store a large amount of protein and starch, they are also exhibiting colloidal particles. Blood, high plasma protein form a colloidal system in blood. These systems contain pH and osmotic concentration of blood. So there are advantages of colloids. Colloidal allow to dispersion of normally insoluble materials such as metallic gold or fats. These can then be used more easily or absorbed more easily also. Colloidal gold, for example, can be used in medicine to carry drugs and antibiotic because it is highly non-reactive and non-toxic. Pharmaceutical industries make use of colloidal solution preparation in many medicines. A wide variety of medicines are emulsion, and paint industries also used colloidal in the preparation of paint. So in milk, the colloidal suspension of the fats prevent the milk from being thick and allow for easy absorption of the nutrients. Sewage water contain particles in dirt, mud, which can be colloidal in nature and carry some electrical charges. These particles may be removed by using the phenomenon of electrophoresis. The sky of the empty space around Earth and such has no color. It appears blue due to scattering of light by the colloidal dust particle present in the air, which is called Tyndall effect. So you can see the clear sky of blue is Tyndall effect. The sewage water, how to clear sewage water blockage, that is electrophoresis. In milk, that colloidal suspension in which fat is prevented the milk from being thick, that is also colloidal. Spalt emulsified in water and is used to building road also. So the sugar present in milk produce lactic acid. On fermentation, that ion which produced by acid destroy the charge on the colloidal particle which is present in milk, which is also coagulating. Soap solution is colloidal nature, which form micelles and used to cleansing the cloth. Large number of food particles which we are using in day-to-day life like milk, butter, ice cream is also example of colloids. So these are some of the importance of colloids. Now application of colloids. Last, electrical precipitate of smoke. Smoke is a colloidal solution of solid particles such as carbon, arsenic, compound dust. The smoke before it comes out of the chimney is led through the chamber containing plates having a charge opposite to the carried by smoke particles. The particle on coming in contact with these plates lose their charge and get precipitate. The particles thus settle down on the floor of the chamber. The precipitate is called cotral or precipitator. So purification of drinking water, this is also one of the application of colloidal. The water but obtained from natural sources often contains suspended impurities. Now alum which is added to such water is coagulating the suspended impurities and make water fit for drinking purpose. This which we are using the candle, in Pureit. Just make a video of your Pureit and take out the candle, then see all the impurities, all the dust particle is going to be suspended, or I can say going to be coagulate in that candle. Third is medicine. Most of the medicine are colloidal in nature. For example, this argyrol is a silver sole used in eye lotion. Colloidal antimony is used for curing Kala Azar. Colloidal gold is used for intramuscular injection. Milk of magnesia and emulsion is used for stomach disorder. Colloidal medicine are more effective because they have large surface area and therefore easy assimilated. Tanning animal hide or colloidal in nature. When a hide which has positively charged particle is soaked in a tannin which contain negatively charged colloidal particle, mutual coagulation takes place. This results in the hardening of leather. This process is termed as tanning. Chromium salt are also used in place of tanning. So photographic plate and film. Photographic plate and film are prepared by coating an emulsion of the light sensitive silver bromide in gelatin over glass plates. Rubber industries, latex is the colloidal solution of rubber particles which is negatively charged. Rubber is obtained by coagulation of latex. Similar way, industrial product, paint, ink, synthetic plastic, rubber, graphite, lubricant, cement, these all are example of colloidal solution. So dear students, once again, this colloidal, which colloids we are talking, it is very important and some of the practicals are also there related to this. So I hope you understood this video, you understood the properties and importance of colloids in our daily life, and now you will prepare the notes from this video. So till this was today, this is all about today. Now till my next video, take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you, have a nice day.